If you clicked on this video, it's season 5 and you are struggling to time your jump shot. And if you are, then I got you. In today's video, I have what I think are the best 10 jump shots in the game for all builds, heights, and 3-point ratings. I'll be showing you the settings that you should be using and everything in between. I have tested and used all of these jump shots and every single one of them are money. So if you are in need of a jump shot or don't, and you just enjoyed the content, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. And if you have an even better jump shot, comment down below what yours is because you can help someone else out in need. So let's get right into the video. So starting off, the first thing you need to do is come over to your options and then your controller settings. And then for your shot time and profile, I use high risk reward. I've always used high risk. I've just believed deep down in my soul that it has the higher green window like 2K said. A lot of people use normal risk nowadays. If you see that people are hitting a lot of whites, if you have your shot feedback on, which if you don't, I'll show you how to put that on in a second. But if you do see a lot of whites from people going in, it's because they have on normal risk reward. It be pissing me off, you know, but to each his own. If you cannot shoot, I recommend you go ahead and put on normal risk. But if you want a little bit of a challenge and you want to hit more or green more of your shots, then put on high risk reward. You will not be disappointed. Now, the next thing that you should go to is to your My Player and to your animations. Go over to the customized HUD, come down to shot feedback, and right here is where you can put your shot feedback on. Now, I recommend that you guys do put this on. A lot of people love simple because you can see if you green or miss. But in my opinion, I like to see how my timing is, how my coverage is, if it was, you know, early, slightly late, slightly early, whatever the case may be. I love to see all of that. So that's why I recommend that you guys put on all shots. Then simple, but again, is ultimately up to you at the end of the day. The next thing is come over to shot meters. Turn it off if you have yours on. Do not turn your shot meter on, y'all. You do not need it in this game. Just go to your My Court, find the jump shot for you, learn the timing of it, just practice it. And I promise y'all, you guys will be all straight. Just turn that shot meter off if you do have it on. And I believe that is it for the customized HUD. And then next, what you guys want to do is go to your 2K card and you want to make sure you guys have your hot zones. The most important thing, you cannot shoot very well if you do not have your hot zones. So what you can do, I'm standing over here right now with the dunes. You come over here, you can play the quick game, get your hot zones there, but I prefer that you use the My Career method. Go into My Career, come right over here, go to your settings, make sure the game difficulty is on rookie. Your quarter length is on 5-minute quarters. You do have to hit 10 shots in each spot that you want your hot zones in, your hot spots in. So you have to hit at least 10. If you want all of them, I recommend just go ahead and put on that 12-minute quarters and get all of them in one game. But if you just need a few of them, you can get a couple in, or maybe even 3 of them by playing 5-minute quarters, especially if you're a starter and you've been playing My Career for a while. So that's what I recommend for you guys doing to get your hot spots. But if not, if you just cannot stay in My Career, then come to a street ball court, you get them here. But I can tell you this, if you are not a good shooter and you miss a lot, you will get your cold spots very, very fast. So keep that in mind. Now let's head on over to the Artist Shooter Gym really quick so you can show you guys how to get your lethals. As you guys did see when I showed you my hot zones, I did not have my lethals because it's time for me to redo mine. But we're gonna run in here really quick and I can show you guys how to do that if you do not know already. And once you get in here, you can toggle your hot zones by hitting, if you're on PS5, just a little thing in between. The little, I guess, I don't know what you call it in between, but for Xbox, I have no idea. Probably the same thing, maybe. I don't know. But you run over here to Lethal Shooter. You can talk to him. I'm not going to do this right now, obviously. But you have your easy, your medium, and your hard. I recommend doing the hard, especially if you're a guard, because you can get 3 lethal zones on the court. For me, when I run with my bigs, I just do medium because I only stay in corner most of the time. So I just do the 2 zones and keep it moving. But for my guards, I do this. Do the hard. It's not hard, y'all. 2K have made it a lot easier. Lethal Shooter does miss a little bit more, but he don't miss a lot. So make sure you guys hit each and every shot if you possibly can. And then the last thing I want to tell you guys about before we get into these jump shots is make sure that you guys get your boost. Very, very important. If you are very familiar with this game, you know that RNG is in this game, which is random number generator. You can time your jump shot perfectly every single time and you will miss, okay? So just make sure you have your jump shot boost to give you a little boost to help you guys out. You will be all straight if you just put on some boosts. I know it takes some VC, but just put them on. I promise you guys, you will be all straight. Okay, so the very first jump shot I want to show you guys is this one right here. If you have not hit starter 4, put on this base right here. It's base Cameron Thomas, upper release 1, Oscar Robson, upper release 2, Oscar Robson again. For the visual cue, it's like 3 ticks before the R or release. Release speed is on very quick. Animation blending is 50-50, obviously. Your release height is an A+, release speed is an A+. Your defensive immunity is an A-. Time and stability is a C. You do need an 88 midi or 3-ball for this jump shot. But y'all, this base is kind of like Patty. So if you have not hit starter 4 quite yet and you can't get Patty, put on Cameron Thomas base. I promise you guys, you will not regret it. It's super easy to time. Once you practice it, just go in my code. Once you practice it, you'll get it down pat. Just try it out. I promise you will not be disappointed. And the next one, if you have not hit starter 4, is try this one right here. Allen Iverson base, upper release 1, Steph Curry, upper release 2, Oscar Robertson. For the visual cue, it's almost in between push and release speed all the way up to very quick. Animation blend, I did 50-50. The release height, the release speed is an A+. Defensive immunity is an A. Time and stability is a C+. You do need an 89 midi or 3-ball to get this jump shot. But most people in the beginning of the season, in the beginning of the year, were using Allen Iverson. So you have people using Cam Thomas, Allen Iverson base. Some people are using Kyrie as well. But this is a really good base. It's super easy to time. I shoot with the button with all of these bases I'm showing you guys except for one. And I'll tell you guys which one that is shortly. But try this base out or this jump shot out if you haven't already. You can always switch up releases and find the ones that fit right for you or whatever the case may be. But try this one out if you haven't already. Now the next one, if you have not hit starter 4, is this one right here. JAKOBE Walter for the base. Upper release 1, Oscar Robertson. Upper release 2, Blue. But I love those 2 releases. They just work well for me. That's why I always put them in all my jump shots. But the visual cue is like 3 or 4 ticks before the R. Release speed is very quick. Animation blending 69% Oscar, 31% Beluba. The release height and the release speed are A+. The defensive immunity is an A. Time and stability is a D+. Don't worry about that. You need an 85 midi or 3-ball for this jump shot. Now listen, I absolutely love this one right here. I found this one out not too long ago. It's super quick, super easy to time. I used the button to shoot with this. And if you don't like the Cam Thomas base or Allen Iverson base, try this one out if you're not starter 4, because this one can surprise a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, if you have hit starter 4, everybody knows to use Patty. Patty is the way to go. You got base Patrick Mills, upper release 1, Oscar Robertson, upper release 2, Blue. I told you I'm really changing my releases like that. But the visual cue is like in between push and release. Release speed, I have it on quick. Animation blending, I did 50-50. Release height, release speed, A+. Defensive immunity is an A. Time and stability is a C. I have this on quick because Patty base is very quick. So you guys, once you get the timing down, you will absolutely love Patty. I use the button to shoot with this because I can't figure out a timer using the stick. But if you haven't used this already and you have hit starter 4, try this out. You will not be disappointed. Now the last one is my most favorite one right here. Kevin Porter Jr. as the base. Oscar Robertson for upper release 1 and Beluba for upper release 2. For the visual cue is a few ticks past push. Release speed is on quick. Animation blending is 70-30. Y'all, this is my very favorite jump shot. That release height is only a B, but that's okay. The release speed is A+. Defensive immunity is an A. Time and stability is a B. You do need an 87 midi or 3-ball for this jump shot. This is my most favorite base. No lies told. I prefer this over Patty. I can time it so well. I do not use a button with this. I actually rhythm shoot with this. I use a stick to shoot with this jump shot. It's so easy to time, y'all. I mean, so easy to time. So if you have hit starter 4, try this out. You guys will not be disappointed. Okay, so for my 6'5" to 6'9" builds, I have this jumper right here. Base Matt Ryan, upper release 1 Oscar Robertson, upper release 2 Troy Brown Jr. For the visual cue, it's like a tick to the R of release. Got very quick release speed, animation blending 86% Oscar, 14% Troy Brown Jr. The release height is an A, release speed A+, defensive immunity A-. Time and stability is a C. You do need at least an 85 midi or 3-ball to get this jump shot. A lot of people have caught on to the Matt Ryan base nowadays. And this base is very fast. That's why I have it almost on release for the visual cue. And even though the release speed is on very quick, it's, you know, you can bring it down if you guys want to, but I like the release speed on very quick with this because of how I set the visual cue. But you guys can definitely mess around with this. But the jumper is the base is very, very quick. But once you get the timing down on this jumper, it's very, very good. A lot of people, again, they do use this base. So if you haven't tried it already, go ahead, try it out. It's not bad at all. Now, my most favorite one is this one right here, and everybody uses this base. Base JAKOBE, upper release 1, Troy Brown Jr., upper release 2, Oscar Robertson. You got the visual cue is a tick pass push. Release speed is on very quick. Animation blend I did 50-50. The release height A+, release speed is an A, defensive immunity A-. The time stability is a D+, but you don't have to worry about that. And all you need is an 82 midi or 3 ball to get this jump shot right here. Now everybody know, if you have been playing this game since day one or even just since Christmas, if you got the game, everybody knows about the JAKOBE base. If you do not, put it on right now. I don't shoot with the button with this. I rhythm shoot this. I use the stick. It's so easy to time this base with rhythm shooting. I don't know what it is, but it's super easy to time. Just go to your MyCourt, try it out, you know, practice it, and I promise you, you will start greening every single shot. This is my most favorite base for the 6.5 to 6.9 builds. I use this on all of my builds, 6.5 to 6.9. So try this base out if you guys haven't already. And for my last jumper for 6.5 to 6.9 is this one right here. Base Michael Porter Jr., upper release 1 Oscar Robertson, upper release 2 Beluba. For visual cue, it's a couple ticks pass push. Release speed is on quick. Animation blending 96% Oscar, 4% Beluba. For the release height, you have an A, release speed A+, defensive immunity A-, and the time and stability is an A. You do need a 90 mid-range or 3 ball for this jump shot. And that's why I left this for last, because a lot of people don't have a high mid-range. They should nowadays, but put this base on right here and try it out. It's not as good as 2K24, but it's still pretty decent. And if I get tired of JAKOBE and it's just not working for me that day or whatever, I'll come and I'll use this build right here because it's the only build I have a 90+ midi on. But I will use this and I hit with it very well. So if you guys have a high mid-range or 3 ball and you're between 6.5 to 6.9, try the Michael Porter Jr. base. It is really good as well. And for my 6'10" to 7'3" builds, I have these 2 jumpers right here. First one I'm gonna show you is this one right here. You have base Chris Bosh, upper release 1 LaMarcus Aldridge, upper release 2 John Collins. For the visual cue, is like almost halfway between push and release. Release speed is on very quick. Animation blending, it's 51% LaMarcus, 49% John Collins. For the release height and the release speed are A+. For the defensive immunity, it's a B, and the time and stability is a B-. You do need at least an 85 midi to get this jump shot. And nowadays, a lot of 7-footers do have a high midi, especially if they have a 3 ball, not the insides. But the poppers, they usually have a higher midi, at least an 85, so they can get this base right here. This is my number 2 base for my 7-footers and up. I love this base. It's super easy to time. I don't use the button with it. I can't time it with it. I use the stick. I rhythm shoot with this jump shot 110%. But once you practice it in your MyCourt, you get it down pat, I promise you, you will hit nonstop greens with this. Now, if you do not have a high midi like this, try this one right here. And everybody in their mama knows about this. Base Jonathan Isaac, upper release 1 LaMarcus, upper release 2 John Collins. It's the same releases because I like to use the same releases. You guys can change them around if you like, obviously, to cater to your playstyle. But for the visual cue, is a little bit past push. Release speed is on very quick. Animation blending is 14% LaMarcus, 86% John Collins. For the release height, you got an A+, release speed an A-. Defensive immunity is a B-. Time and stability is a D+, but I promise you that's okay. And all you need is a 79 midi or 3 ball to get this jump shot. Most people, again, in the beginning of the game, they didn't have higher midis. So a lot of us 7-footers and up, we use Jonathan Isaac base because that's that was the best base, and it still is to this day. If you have a higher midi, definitely put on Chris Bosh because that base, in my opinion, is better. But if you do not have a higher mid-range, then put on Jonathan Isaac. This is the number 1 base for 7-footers in this game if you do not have a high mid-range. So try this out if you haven't already. And that is it for today's video. If I helped you guys out in any way, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. And if you lasted this long, don't forget to leave your favorite jump shot down in the comments so you can help someone else out if they need the help. Until next time, stay blessed.